Hi guys, this is Peter, and on this video I want to share with you what I believe to be the biggest lesson that I learned from Richard Branson. Now, doing what I've been doing for the last several years, I've been very privileged to have been able to share the stage and keynote at some incredible events and really learn from some other incredible speakers that I've had the privilege of speaking with. People like Sir Richard Branson or President Clinton, or speaking at Google or speaking at NASA, or some incredible organizations that are full of incredible people. But out of all of the people that I've had the privilege of spending time with, the one question I get asked most was, what's Richard Branson like? And I've got to tell you, I mean, Sir Richard, I've had the privilege of sharing the stage with more than once, and he's an incredible guy. I think we all see the persona that comes across on TV, and I've got to tell you, he's authentic. That's who he is. I wouldn't say he's the most inspiring speaker because that's not his skill set. But he's who he is, and he'd be the first to say that. And he's down to earth, he's practical. But if I was to share with you what the biggest lesson I think I got as an entrepreneur, is that Sir Richard Branson isn't that great at business. Now, that may come as a shock. And if Sir Richard's watching right now, he'd probably be smiling because he knows exactly where I'm going with this, because he'd be the first to probably say that. And that is that Richard Branson isn't very good at business. He's not very good at being able to run a business. He'd be the first to put his hand up and say that only up until recently, his chief financial officer was still explaining the difference between gross and net profit. Now, I'm not saying that as a slur, that was something that he told me. But what is the biggest lesson that I learned from him? Very simple. Richard Branson, contrary to popular opinion, is not very good at running a business. However, what Sir Richard Branson is absolutely incredible at doing is hiring people that are very, very good at running business. In other words, he is a master of something called top grading, hiring up, trading up, surrounding yourself with people who are better than you. Why is that so surprising? Because most entrepreneurs that I found either started their business because they were trying to prove something. They were trying to prove they were good enough. And as a result of that, only they can tell other people how to run their business. Or they're afraid that if they hire somebody and they're better than them, it will make them look less than by contrast. And if we think we look less than by contrast, what that tends to do is trigger the fear that most of us have, which is the fear that we're not enough. So therefore, most entrepreneurs have a tight death grip on how they think their business should be run, on how they tell their staff how their business should be run. And they're afraid of hiring somebody better than them. Either they don't believe anybody can be as good as them at running their business, or they have such an ego involved that they want to micromanage everything, because if the business starts to fail, then it's a reflection on them. That's how I was in my 20s. I was running 8 different companies, all with different staff and budgets and overheads and directors and goodness knows what. And I was a control freak. Hire somebody better than me. There is nobody better than me. I mean, listen to the ego on that one. But that's what I believed at the time, because I saw every different part of the business, and therefore I was the only one that knew. And I would hire somebody to do their job, but I would oversee that. Well, guess what? Sir Richard Branson doesn't do that. He hires people that are better than him and gets out of the way. He sets up the parameters and the procedures so that he can look and see what's going on a checklist and have the key information, so that if there's any issues, he gets an early warning sign. There's accountability, but he doesn't tell them how to do the job that he's hired them to do, because he knows they're better than him at doing it. What a fantastic strategy. Let's look at that in terms of sport. If you want to get better at tennis, who do you play tennis with? Do you want to play tennis with somebody that you can beat every single game? Well, no, there's no fun in that. It may be good if you want to have an ego trip for chalking up wins, but if your goal is to become better, a better sports person, a better business person, then start playing people who are better than you. And you learn from that, you grow from that. You don't look and think, oh damn, I lost again. No, that's the ego keeping score. Forget what the score on the outer game is. Keep the score on the inner game. If you learned something in that tennis match, if you progressed, if you stretched a little further, if you were forced to grow because of the quality of competition, guess what? That's an internal win, regardless of how many sets or points that you lost by. So same with business. Hire people that are better than you. Now, please understand, there is nobody that is going to see your business the way you see it. As an entrepreneur, that's just fact. Get over that, but be okay with that. You know, if you're hoping or looking for somebody that'll see exactly what you see, you're wasting your time. Do you know why? Because if they saw what you would see, they'd be running their own business. But instead, if you can just hire people that are better at you at what it is and this part of the business that you want them to do, and get the hell out of the way, put in the procedures, you will start building companies like Sir Richard Branson, whereby he can go out and enjoy his kite surfing and do media appearances and be the front of face, while he has an army of highly qualified people that are better than him at business running his business. And that, my friends, is probably the best lesson that I've learned from spending time with Richard Branson. Hey, Peter Sage here. I'm back just to say I hope you enjoyed what you saw on that video, and remember that knowing and not doing is the same as not knowing. So it's about applying what you learn, not just being passively entertained by what you learn. If you like more of what I do, please subscribe to my channel so I can share more of my wisdom and insights with you to make a difference. Please also go to my website at petersage.com. I have a ton of free content for a lot of people there to add more value, and I hope to see you on another video soon.